In Thailand, Parliament has overwhelmingly passed the first reading of 4 draft bills on same-sex marriage. The legislation would mean more equality for Thailand's sizable LGBTQ community. Human rights activists have said existing laws do not reflect changing social attitudes and that they discriminate against minority groups. The changes still need the final approval of the king. If passed, Thailand would follow Nepal and Taiwan in legalizing same-sex marriage.
1, 2, 3.
The Bangkok Gay Men's Choir is getting into the festive spirit, and they may soon have something else to celebrate: the same-sex marriage rights as heterosexual couples. The majority of Thai parliamentarians approved 4 draft bills on same-sex marriage after their first reading.
One day, we will legally be able to support our partners. Our lives will be easier. We won't have to hide anything from anyone because the law will be behind us.
We don't want privileges. People misunderstand that and think we're calling for special treatment. But our community just wants to be treated fairly in everyday life.
Thailand has one of the most open and visible gay communities in Asia. But activists say this reputation is misleading because the country's laws and institutions still discriminate against LGBTQ+ people. They say this allows for homophobia in all parts of society. Previous attempts at passing laws on marriage equality were blocked by the former military government. But hopes amongst the gay community were reignited after Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin was elected in August this year. Under his government's proposal, the words man and woman and husband and wife would be replaced with the gender-neutral terms individual and spouse in marriage laws, allowing for full equality for all. The bill still has a few hurdles to pass before it becomes law. But many LGBTQ+ activists in Thailand feel they are closer than ever before to having their calls for equality answered.
Well, Reuters journalist Panu Wongcha-um joins us now from Bangkok. Panu, it's good to have you with us. Let me ask you, 4 bills on same-sex marriage have been passed in their first reading today. Does that mean that they are now as good as passed? They're practically going to be law?
Well, there's still a few hurdles left. So after they pass the first reading today, they have to form a committee of 39 people to bring together the 4 draft bill and make it into one bill before further approval from both houses of parliament and then a royal endorsement before it becomes law. So with the overwhelming support that we saw today, it is still expected to become law sometime next year. However, there's still a few hurdles, but certainly today's vote is very historic.
You say the overwhelming support that we saw today, 10 or so lawmakers out of 380 in the lower house were against the bills. 1 lawmaker abstained. Talk to me about the opposition. Why are these lawmakers, why are they opposed to same-sex marriage legislation?
Oh, it's very basic. I mean, the overwhelming vote show actually a common ground between the government and the opposition, but the 10 against vote that you mentioned are basically on religious ground. Now, Thailand is overwhelmingly Buddhist, and the Buddhist establishment here has not weighed in on the law at all. But for the Muslim minority, which is where these 10 votes against came from, is basically there's still lots of questions for their community about this particular law. And to add to the context to this, it's not necessarily that they are opposed to the spirit of the progressive law per se, but they are asking vital question about what that means for the Islamic community, particularly in a context, in a larger discussion they're having about applying Islamic law on matters relating to families issue. This is supposed to be in discussion going forward, And it will be very interesting to see what sort of compromise they can reach on this particular issue.
Thailand promotes itself as a place that is friendly to the LGBTQ community, yet their rights are not enshrined in law. What does that say about Thai society?
I mean, it's a very telling thing. Basically, laws and legislations here lags far behind the fast-changing social attitude. And as you know, social attitude here in terms of the LGBTQ plus community is very friendly, it's very open. There's a large celebration about this. And beyond legislations and laws, it has to be mentioned also that social attitude sometimes doesn't necessarily reflect some conservative views within, say, a family, institution. And throughout today, through the debate in Parliament, while many lawmakers supported the spirit of the bill, they also mentioned that many parents, many families from various generations still have discriminate views about their child, especially their gender preferences. So it is something quite interesting. Sort of socially, this wide open acceptance, but legislatively and also in the family level, there's still some obstacle to be overcome.
Reuters journalist Panu Wongcha-um joining us from Bangkok. Panu, we appreciate your time and your reporting tonight. Thank you.